Hey guys, Michael Mansell here, and this is going to be a quick video, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I wanted to give you an update on my Z06 and the problems that I have been posting about it on my YouTube channel here. As you can see, it is in my garage right now. I did get it back a few weeks ago, and my wife Lauren actually caught me driving home. I was actually pretty excited because I got it home, and that video is right here.
Oh my gosh, I was outside and I heard Michael's car coming. He just got it back. Hi! It's been gone for, gosh, I think over a month.
And once I got it home, they told me that they switched out one computer module in the car, but they weren't really confident that that had fixed the issue. And the other thing that they made a big deal about, which I wasn't very happy about, was they were saying that they wanted me to disable and disconnect anything that I had added to the car, even if it wasn't a blatant like voiding of the warranty, which I hadn't done anything. The only thing that I had had on the car was the XKglow LED lighting kit that was put on it. They were telling me that the LED lighting kit quite possibly could be creating electromagnetic interference, EMIs, with the ECM in the car, causing the intermittent power loss issue, which I didn't believe, but they're wanting to do. I have a front and rear dash cam in this car. They're telling me they want me to disable that. I also had a mild to wild fuse switch inside the car, which I'll talk about more about here in just a second, because that was something that caused me to think, well, maybe that was causing the issue. But in any case, they told me they need me to remove or disable all of those before they'll do any more work on my car, before they'll touch it at all, because they had an engineer come down from GM, and he had the car for 3 days, said he drove it 45 miles total and was never able to replicate the issue. I had the car back for 2 days and it started doing it to me again. And I thought maybe I was imagining it, because then I didn't experience it for about 3 or 4 days until actually in the evening. So it wasn't even really that hot out, but I started experiencing the issue again. Now this time I decided to record it. You guys can watch that right here.
Okay, making a U-turn here. I'm gonna be in first gear. I'm gonna put the gas pedal all the way to the floor. Nothing, gas pedal. There, and it finally kicks in.
All right, so you got a little sense of it. I mean, it's really tough to actually record it and have you guys experience what I was feeling, but you could hear it. And if you were listening, if you had the volume up on that video, you could actually hear the exhaust kick in.
Nothing, gas pedal. There, and it finally kicks in.
I mean, it was my foot was to the floor and you could hear it kick in. You could hear the actual full force and horsepower of the engine kick on. That's the closest I could get to actually documenting what it was doing. So then I thought, you know what, I really need to start the process of disabling and removing these really cosmetic, for the most part, upgrades to the car that GM has told me I need to disable or remove before they'll look at it again. So I got home, and the first thing I decided to start with was the mild to wild unit, because I thought, you know what, well, and let me back up. So when I got back that evening, I was in the garage revving the engine, and I noticed there was like no throttle noise at all. There was no growl, and it was as if it was in stealth mode.
It just sounds weird, like there's no exhaust. I'm revving the engine, and it should be like crazy loud in here right now with the exhaust.
And I thought, huh, that's interesting. I didn't actually push the visor button because I had this module here, the mild to wild module installed in the car, which essentially all it does is turn on and off the fuse. That's all it does, which, you know, opens the valves all the way up or closes them all the way down. And I had those programmed to my visor. So I thought that's weird. So I was pushing the visor button and nothing was happening. So I thought, huh, I wonder, like light bulb moment. I thought, wonder, maybe that unit, the mild to wild unit, had gone bad and it was intermittently opening and closing the valves randomly, which was causing a decrease in power. And I thought, well, it shouldn't be that much decrease in power. It does close it down a little bit, but I just thought it was so weird. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna completely remove that module and maybe that's what's happened. So when I opened up the hood, and I looked at the mild to wild module. If you guys can see, this thing is deformed. This was inside my engine, not up against anything hot, but we are in Tucson, Arizona, and you can see here, this thing is like deformed and melted. Can you guys see that? It's like deformed, melted, and warped. So I thought, this could very well be the issue. So I removed this completely, just cut it out. I bought it on Amazon, can't remember how much, it was less than $100. But I just thought, I'm just gonna get rid of this altogether. I plan to get the Armytrix exhaust installed here pretty soon if everything goes right with the car. So I thought, I'm not gonna need this anymore, I'm just gonna remove it altogether. So I removed it altogether and I thought, you know what, I'm confident maybe that was the issue. So I drove it for a couple more days and didn't experience it. I went to Texas Roadhouse with my wife the other night, and driving back almost home, so I hadn't even driven it that much that day, only driving it about 3-4 miles home, and in third gear, I started losing power. So there went that hopes and excitement that that was the issue and maybe I was, you know, in the clear. So unfortunately, the excitement of me thinking that this module just going bad was causing the intermittent power loss in the car, which didn't completely make sense to me, but I was just hoping that maybe that it was closing the valves down intermittently and losing power. Again, I'm not a mechanic, so I could be sounding totally idiotic to a mechanic out there, and that's fine. If you want to criticize me for that, I'm totally fine with that, but I'm just trying to think of ideas because GM literally had this car for a month. They had it for an entire month. And I say GM, it's O'Reilly Chevrolet, but they brought an engineer down from GM. They had it for an entire month and could not find the issue. O'Reilly Chevrolet service manager did experience the power loss firsthand because I took it over there while it was doing it, and she rode in the car and she did validate and verify, yes, this is not normal. So I do have that proof. So this is the next step, and you guys can follow me along. Be sure to subscribe to my channel here to get updates on what I'm doing with this car and what the resolution is gonna be, because I will get a resolution. I'm not just gonna give up on this car. A lot of people on my channel here are just telling me get rid of it, trade it in, it's a software issue. I love this car, and I'm not just gonna give up on it. Be sure to subscribe, like this video to get the updates of when I take this car back. So my next step is this afternoon, I'm taking it down to Richard at SBS Autosport. I'm having him completely disconnect the XKglow lighting kit that's on this car. To eliminate that, I'm having him disconnect the front and rear dash cam cameras, which is stupid that GM told me that I have to disconnect and remove those. They're just dash cam cameras. I'm gonna do all that. I'm gonna take it back to O'Reilly Chevrolet and say, fix it. So that's the update. Just want to keep you guys posted. I know this is really crude, raw video, but I didn't want to wait. I've got a busy day. I got to get this car all the way down to Vail, which is about a 20-minute drive to Richard's shop, drop it off to him, and we'll go from there. See you guys soon.